Right, what's up everyone? And welcome back to Rich TV, the podcast where we dive into the minds behind the grind, from music and business to culture to everything in between. Today we're stepping in the ring with with someone who lives and breathes wrestling. From grueling training sessions and high impact matches to character work and life on the road, this guest knows exactly what it takes to make it in one of the toughest industries out there. While you're a die-hard wrestling fan, someone curious about the world behind the ropes, or you just love hearing stories about passion and pain and prevalence, this episode's got it all. So we're here with Carl today.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, very good. Are you?
Yeah, that's some introduction, that is, by the way.
That's pretty good, that,
I think you hit the nail on the head with the stuff.
Is that right?
You mentioned? Yeah, literally, like, it's all good stuff, like, yeah.
I'm very glad to have you on the podcast because I've always found you quite interesting. Me and Carl, if anyone doesn't know this, have worked together for how many years?
8, I want to say. Over 8 years.
About 8 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, predominantly, we're both salesmen, essentially. But yeah, we are here today because there's an energy level with Carl, which is very positive. So, we want to.
I'm glad you say that. Yeah. It's not a common thing I've heard before, but I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I just want to sort of dive into a bit so people understand who you are.
Right.
Okay. So, what I'm going to start with the wrestling and understand a bit first. So,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
What first drew you into wrestling? Like, was there a moment or a match that made you say, "This is what I want to do"?
Yeah, absolutely. I think early 90s as a young boy, you picked your directions on where you want to go and stuff like that, what your interests are and stuff like that. I was heavily into the martial arts movies, all the Bruce Lee ones that were about at the moment.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
And then the Power Rangers came, all that type of stuff.
Yes.
I just loved all the action that came with it all, the stories between Power Rangers and Bruce Lee of the good versus the evil. Sometimes it looks like the bad guy's winning and then the good guy comes back and stuff like that. And then I remember my older brother, the middle of the 3 older brothers, he was 8 years older.
Okay.
And he had 25 videotapes of old wrestling.
Did he?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that. Bearing in mind this is going to be the mid 90s.
Okay.
So I picked up a few of these, and I remember one specific one. There was a wrestler called the British Bulldog.
Okay.
He lived about 15-minute walk from where I grew up. So it's quite not necessarily personal to me, but it's all like cool, like there's someone so close.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool.
At Wembley Stadium at the time, I think there's 90,000 people. And he was in a storyline rivalry with his brother-in-law Bret Hart, if you've heard that name as well.
Right.
So Bret's sister was married to a British Bulldog.
Okay.
So there was kind of brother-in-laws, and there was fighting over this championship, and his main event of SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium. You've got this kid from Wigan, and I think I just watched that. I remember watching that match and just fell in love with the whole story. And it's not just that the actual match itself, because I would have been too young to understand the intricacies of what a wrestling match is and the art of it. Okay. But it's more like you've got this woman here who's do a pick my brother, do a pick my husband. You've got the commentators who are highlighting it. You've got the Wembley 90,000 English people with all the noise and all the it's so invested. You've got tears when there's a winner at the end. So that's the one that kicked it off for me.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so that it's been a bit of it sort of drew you in then, didn't it?
I was hooked from that moment. Yeah.
I didn't know it was local. That's cool as well. I like that. Okay, and it said that I was in Wigan, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the weird thing is a British Bulldog had a cousin called Dynamite Kid, Tom Billington, and in the 80s there was like a world-class tag team in WWF and Japan and stuff like that. And Tom Billington, he's from Wigan as well.
Yeah.
I then became friends through wrestling with his nephews. Okay. Also called Tom Billington, who's now in AEW, and Mark Billington, who I was in a match with about 4 weeks ago. And they're only young kids, 20 and 23 or something like that.
Okay.
But I was in that. If they had 10 matches to start off with, I was in their first 7 matches out of 10.
Really?
So, and I just got to know them that way, and they're all good lads. All Wiganers have got this tough exterior, and they've got this stern, stone-looking face and stuff. And sometimes you're a bit intimidated just by looking.
I noticed this.
Yeah, it's so true.
I went to Wigan for the first time yesterday. I was 2 days ago. I was in Wigan, right? I was picking up some I was picking up the microphone actually. So I was in Wigan, and I noticed like I went into a few shops and like chatting to people, and like they have the look like they come from like a strong background,
Right.
but then really self-centered, like they're really like just nice normal people.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's a low income area, isn't it? You know, they grew up on the pits and all that type of stuff. So boxing was prevalent, wrestling was prevalent, like amateur wrestling.
Okay.
It's a rugby town, isn't it? So everyone just looks big and tough and mean and skint.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the culture there, and that's bred into them type of thing.
Tell us about your first time in the ring. Like, what was going through your mind at that point?
First time in the ring, so fast forward after all the training, first time in the ring is pretty much exactly the same as my process now.
Okay.
Absolute nerves, 10 seconds before my music hits.
Yeah.
And then when I'm out there, it's like the biggest rush I've ever felt in my life. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's almost like, it's the dopamine that hits, you know, the thrill that you get. And I've wrestled in front of 8 people, I've wrestled in front of 1,000 people, and you know, it's just whether it's 8 or 1,000 people or whatever in between. The crowd noise, because when you're going out there, you're going out as a character, so you're not really yourself. And if I went out as myself and I got that crowd noise, I'd be quite embarrassed.
Okay.
But when you're going out as not a character,
It
but
is
like,
a character,
yeah,
essentially.
It's a character, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically what they say in wrestling is it's yourself with the volume turned up, or yourself times by 10.
That's cool.
That's what you need to be, and that's. So I don't want to be playing around with gimmicks where you know, you're a different person altogether, because it's not authentic, and I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
So if you be yourself, times it up by 100, the crowd will be more invested in you. Once you get that, when you hear that noise when you come through the curtain, it's the rush is unbelievable. I'm actually scared of losing that rush when I stop wrestling, because I don't know what I'm going to replace it with, to be honest.
Do you get that every time still?
Every single time.
Yeah, that's good energy. That
every single time.
That's important. That okay. All right, cool. Well, what was like training like early on? Like, did anything like about it surprise you? Because obviously people don't realise like what sort of level like you have to practice in this.
No, so when I do certain things that I'm new to, I tend to think of worst case scenarios. You know.
Okay.
I remember when I was training, it was brilliant. The coach is one of my best friends now. He's one of my groomsmen at my wedding. He is the best teacher I've ever had in my life, be it PE teacher or geography or a boss at work. He's the best teacher, full stop, like I've ever had. Patient, and he'll make you do something over and over again until you get it right.
Okay.
I remember the sessions, it's like 1 week we're doing something that we're so scared to death of doing, and then once we complete it, it's an absolute thrill. And then the next week it's something else that we're scared to do.
Okay.
And you know, I had the aptitude for it relatively quickly, so I was always okay with doing certain things. And the cardio drills, like a drill sergeant, it's horrible. They do it until I've seen people be sick. I've seen people,
really?
all that type of stuff. I've seen people go to hospital after training and stuff like that. It's
really?
so
it's like military
intense.
level.
Yeah. Honestly, I was never a big guy in terms of weight or muscle, but after the first 6 months of training, I noticed I dropped loads of weight.
Really?
And packed on loads of like lean muscle. It was just through the training regimes and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, it was excruciating. It was one of the funnest times in my life, though. I met some great people.
I feel like you've got to go through the pain, though, haven't you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like the pain is enjoyable sometimes.
Yeah, you can't just do one session of how to put someone in a wrist lock and then become a professional wrestler. It's continuously training, so I'll still train to this day.
Okay.
Because if you don't train, then you become rusty, much like anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, some people they'll train for a year and think they made it, and then their ability will reverse. Or the reason you train is because somebody's putting their body in your trust.
Yeah, okay.
So they trust in you with their life, essentially.
Yeah.
Because everything can go wrong. Listen, I've had multitude of injuries, some of it in training, some of it in the ring. And sometimes I've had injuries through people that not trained enough.
Right.
Because there's certain things that you have to learn. You have to learn to have a good base, which basically means position your body correctly to hold certain weights.
Yeah.
You have to have the right footwork, you have to have the right timing, and if all this is half a second off, then...
That's all it takes.
Yeah, injuries occur very rapidly. I mean, I remember, luckily I kind of got away with it in training for a long time. I had obviously the burns and the knocks and the black eyes and whatnot, but my first real injury was the day before my debut show.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so, and to be fair, it's kind of my fault. So I was going through the match as we did at the time, because when you're a rookie, like, you kind of have to remember what you're going to do in your match rather than call it out in the ring.
Yeah.
And I went out on the Friday night, I think it was a work do, and I was training on the Saturday and the show was on the Sunday.
Okay.
So I went... Sorry, I'll rewind actually. So it was a week before that, so we were doing this end of training drill we did actually.
Yeah.
So this was my first injury, and I'll tell you the one before the show next. We had this thing where the coach puts us all in a circle and lies us down, so our bums on the floor but our legs and our heads up like this, like a V shape.
Upwards?
Yeah, like a V shape
I know what you
almost.
mean.
So your stomach's tense.
Yes, I know what you mean, yeah.
And usually in boxing, for example, they throw a medicine ball just to, like, you know, harden your core and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't have a medicine ball, so he's going around, heel on the ribs of everybody, going around,
Oh,
heel
God,
on.
really?
On the one of the goals around, he broke my ribs. Obviously, it's accidental.
Oh.
So I was like, fuck. But I didn't want to tell him. I went to the hospital. Doctors went, yeah, you broke your rib. I was like, fuck. I'm wrestling next week. Will it be all right? He was like, no, you can't wrestle next week. I was like, fuck. So I didn't tell my coach.
Yeah.
So I went to the training on the following Wednesday, kind of protecting myself, and didn't make out that I was hurt or anything like that, because I just was desperate to be on the show. I was main eventing my first show, by the way, as well.
Okay.
Just because my coach had to go to Cleethorpes to wrestle or something, so he put himself earlier on the card. And then, yeah, so we went out, did the training on Saturday, hurt myself, did the training on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Went out on the Friday with work, so I was hungover on the Saturday for training, and I still used to turn up to train all the time, even hungover and stuff like that.
That's important.
Yeah, and I remember when we was practicing the spot for the match for the next day, there was a moment where during the match I'm going to be on like all fours, because I'm going to take like a knee to the face.
Yeah.
And when you're taking a knee to the face, you kind of just look to the opposite direction and put your hand there, you know, to protect yourself, so it hits your hand.
Yeah, that's what you do, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It still comes at full force, don't get me wrong, but if your hand is there and you're facing the other way, there's less danger of it. I'm breaking down the intricacies of wrestling, yeah.
It drowns out the impact.
There we are. Yeah,
okay,
exactly
cool,
that. Yeah. But instead, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to put my hand there. I'm just going to take this knee, see how it feels. And what happened there was, poof, straight in the eye, going into the debut show with a black eye and a broken rib. I must have looked like I was absolutely tough as fuck.
Yeah, good.
And I was in so much pain. So then the show day comes and I'm nervous and stuff like that. I'm going over the match with my peer who I'm against and stuff like that. Main event comes and I'm wary about this hip, so I'm going in with do you remember the kinesiology tape? I don't know if people use it anymore.
Like a
like
band thing, is
yeah,
it?
it's like tape you put it on like over muscle injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
So I put it on and stuff, and I'm wary of this broken rib. And the first thing in the match is like a classic tie-up combination, arm drag, hip toss and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes time for me to take the hip toss, I'm thinking about my ribs.
Yeah.
So I kind of move a little bit off centre.
Okay.
Take the hip toss on my left shoulder.
Yeah.
And my shoulder separates.
Oh,
in my debut match.
No, we did it.
In my debut
So
match.
you've got black eye, you've got
a broken rib. Yeah. And that's all after. And I tell you what though, at that moment in time, all these little injuries to me, it was like battle scars. I loved them. I enjoyed them and stuff like that. So this was December. I carried on like training. I shouldn't have done stupidly.
Yeah.
In January, when I went back to training, I did a power slam. It was like a snap power slam, it's called.
Okay.
But then I hyperextended my right shoulder and separated that one as well.
Oh wow, okay.
So in about space of about 4 weeks, I'd broken a rib, got a black eye, and separated both shoulders.
Even the war zones, I mean, it's exactly, dedication. Yeah. It's good to see that.
But even now, like this shoulder's all right to go up, but this shoulder's like that. I can feel the pain now just doing this. Like, you know, it's so bizarre. And like when I've got a tie to do, I'll ask. We was at a wedding together. I had to ask someone to do the tie all the way up because I can't get it up without pain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, is that why?
So,
right,
yeah, it's horrible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, like, what was your? We've obviously touched down on your biggest influence as well, but apart from like wrestling as well, in life in general, like, you know, you've mentioned like you've got this history of the guy from Wigan, but is there anyone else you sort of look into for your life?
No, you know what? I've always been a bit of a vagabond.
Okay.
A bit of a nomad, so like
good.
It's complicated situations growing up, so I didn't really have anyone to idolise and stuff like that. So I always found myself always found solace in the world of arts in the sense that not like paintings or anything like that, but even though I do enjoy painting, but it's almost things like tell stories in their own way. So music, you know, film and wrestling and all that type of stuff. So there's not really like one who I always loved the broken characters because I could almost relate. Do you know what I mean? So one person like I did absolutely adore growing up was John Lennon.
John Lennon?
Yeah, John Lennon, absolutely idolised the guy, yeah.
Okay.
I think he's an amazing person.
Yeah.
I was always drawn to these characters because they're almost like caricatures of what is described as a normal person in society and stuff like that. You know, John Lennon's, Liam Gallagher's and stuff like that, these musicians.
Yeah.
Not really much inspirations in
You're
terms
like a lone
of...
wolf, really, aren't you?
100%. I never get excited when I see a celebrity because to me they're just a normal person.
I agree.
But I do feel like I said to Bex the other day when I went to HMV about 15 years ago for a CD signing, and Liam Gallagher was there, and I was quite intimidated by him just because like he's got that aura around him.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? If I see someone on the street or I see someone at a bar, I'm never like, oh my god, this is that you know what I mean? It's
trying
like
to get an autograph.
No, it's not me.
I've been meeting quite a few famous people lately, and it's interesting to see how people act around them. And you do naturally act a little bit different. I don't know what it is. You sort of don't want to bother them too much.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, because they get it all the time, don't they? You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, people are just people at the end of the day, aren't they? So,
100%, yeah.
I think the important thing is so this wrestling life and like the culture of it. Describe the feeling of walking through the curtains before a match, like the nerves, adrenaline, excitement that you mentioned earlier. Can you just touch down a bit more on that? Yeah,
so it's like so if you've pre-planned something, it's almost like you go over it in your head. You're working with either a veteran, somebody on your level, rookies. You know, you're working with all different types of levels.
Okay.
You're working with a heavier guy, lighter guy, younger guy, older guy. So many different variables. Somebody who's maybe so nervous. Somebody who might not want to plan a match or anything like that, or talk about a match and stuff like that. And then you've got to go out and perform. How big's the crowd out there? Because you don't really see it if you're behind the curtain. You can't peep out because. You know, it's behind the curtain, obviously.
Oh, you can't, right, okay.
So you go and you're always hoping for a big crowd. So sometimes the boss will say like, "Listen, we've got X amount of people coming today, so a big crowd. Usually they're quite loud and stuff like that." And they'll give you what's the word I'm looking for? Like a thing to like. They'll say like this.
Like a script or not?
No, not a script. Like they'll tell you like right, this crowd's very good, so you just need to do some basic wrestling, or
they give you insight into what's going to.
There's a word for it. I'm losing the word. Too many bumps to the head. I do that all the time, actually.
I do that.
Or they'll say, "Listen, this crowd's quite dead. Can you just like work the crowd today a bit more than usual?" Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes in wrestling, it doesn't need to be too much that you do because you'll recognise the crowd, so they always recognise you. If you go to a new place, you might have to work that bit harder to get them to enjoy you and stuff like that. And then sometimes the crowd's just so flat because it's, you know, if they're with all the kids and you can tell the kids have dragged them along, they're what I call arms closed fans, where they sit there with their arms closed.
Yeah, add on. Yeah, don't bother me, don't block me.
It's the body language thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't want to listen to you. Yeah.
But my favourites are them, like especially
to get their arms open.
If I'm a bad guy, I'm targeting them straight away. A lot of even I've seen it with veterans, and I think it's quite poor and cheap, like where they'll target the kids for what we call cheap heat. You know, if they'll pretend to give the kid a backhand or something like that. It's like, no, why are you gonna scare a kid? Because you're only getting the kids' noise, right? You want to get the adults' noise. You want to get them invested.
Okay, cool.
The kids are always going to come back.
Yeah, they're going to come back.
But make the dad want to come back as well. Do you know what I mean? Make the mum going to come back. So.
Oh, nice. You put on a proper show. I like that.
Yeah,
okay,
100%. Yeah,
good. Okay, and do you prefer like playing a heel or a face, and why?
A heel every time, man.
A heel.
I feel like it's easier for me to lean into that. It's very easy for me to lean into that. Growing up, I was into everything that was quite gothic and dark and stuff like that, whether it be music or I used to love poetry. Edgar Allan Poe is especially one of my favourites.
Okay.
The Crow's my favourite film, for example. I've got tattoos everywhere and that. So all that type of stuff. So going back to when I was saying like inspiration, I was always drawn to like inspirational arts in terms of like everything gothic as well. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
So if I can somehow put my personality that way, it's always easier. If you walk into a building, say, people are already judging you if the first time they've ever met you.
Within seconds.
Seconds.
Probably 2 seconds.
It's happened to me throughout my life, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's the way I carry myself, because I'm quite, you know me, I'm quite reserved and stuff like that. I've openly said I trust backwards and all this type of stuff, right?
You are, yeah.
So I'll figure people out first. It'll take me a while I don't want to be giving people trust. And
You're
then,
a non-talker at the start.
Exactly
you
that, yeah.
people out. There's people like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I do the talking.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, they're sussing me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've always worked, again, going back to my childhood, it's the way I've been wired. It's like, I will trust people last rather than first, because I don't want trust to be broken. Whereas if they've got my trust, then I know I can really trust them.
Yeah, cool.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
sense,
I don't want to be surrounded by people that I'm struggling to be around, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Sometimes I can't avoid it.
You want to get the right energy.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just natural for me to stay quiet. So going back to that, it's like, you know, people are judging you straight away.
Yeah.
So if I meet you for the first time and I'm trying to impress you, it's going to be a lot harder for you to like me than if I went, oh, I think you're a cunt, because instantly you're going to dislike me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's very much easier to make someone dislike you than it is like you.
Very quick. You know, they say first impressions, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
Last,
Yeah.
they last, don't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. And also just touching on the Gothic side, like you like Barcelona, it's got the Gothic quarter as well, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, we're going in Barcelona in October, staying in the Gothic quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I must have. I just knew that somehow. Yeah, but it's nice there, isn't it? I like it there. And how do you like mentally and physically prepare for all these big matches? Like, what's the most brutal match and you sort of spot you've been in?
Oh, that's two different answers actually. So in the first question, how do I mentally prepare and stuff? It's like, you know, you always have to stay ready.
Okay. You're always in.
You always have to stay ready. Yeah, you have to work out. You know, whether it be cardio or physically or what you're eating. Yeah. Sometimes you let it slip and stuff like that, and that's fine. But as long as you can still go 20 minutes in a ring, 25, 30, whatever the directive is for you.
Wait, is that how long it is? Sorry, 25?
No. Sometimes the gaffer will say, like, listen, we only need 5 minutes from you today. I've got a match, because I'm third owner of a company for a company in Ormskirk.
Okay.
So I've said to the other two guys, listen, we need to get in some what we call jobbers, where it's enhancement talent.
Okay.
You know, we need someone to make someone look good.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like a brand manager, essentially, or not?
No, just a wrestler come in. Your objective is to lose today and make this person look strong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like that?
Yeah, it is,
okay,
yeah.
Very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, because if this put... Right, let's put it this way, and I'll come back to that answer in a bit as well.
Yeah.
That question. If you've got a guy, and this goes to the story of wrestling as well, if you've got a guy who's consistently losing, right, very quick matches, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever it is, over and over and over and over again, right? Then one day he comes in and he wins.
Yeah.
What's the audience reaction going to be when he finally wins?
Well, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be euphoric, innit?
It's going to be like
outstanding,
shock, surprise, and
like Rocky.
Yeah, so
like a Rocky film.
So it's inciting emotion, and that's what wrestling is. It's inciting emotion, whether it's anger, hurt, joy, relief, everything, surprise. It's incite. So these guys, and I've given this objective. I said, listen, you're coming in as a jobber. You're going to make me look strong because I've got a storyline that's progressing. I'm waiting for someone to come back. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I said, but what we want from you is for the next 3 or 4 shows, you're going to get experience through facing better talents than where you are currently, or high profile. So you're going to get used to being in the ring with better people. You're going to get used to the bigger crowds.
That's cool.
You're going to learn stuff from these guys.
So there is a benefit from them as well.
100%. Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's what you sometimes the ego might want to say, oh, I'm losing all the time.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, there's a bigger picture. You're going in with people. When I went in, I was losing all the time, like in wrestling. You don't go in and instantly win.
No.
Well,
I think going on to that, that's really interesting. But like you mentioned, ego.
Yeah.
So I think men in general struggle with ego. We all want to be like these alphas. They don't want to be a simp, do they? But how do you control your ego? Because that can easily sway your decision making. Also, like, become someone you don't want to be.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I've got any ego.
No.
Others may say different, but my wife and I would say I've not got any ego. Like,
okay.
My coach again said to me when we first started training, everyone gets an ego in wrestling, just don't get an ego.
Okay.
So, and I'd never been that way inclined. You might have a bit of pride in your work.
Yeah, good.
And stuff like that, but I've never been. I've always it's weird because sometimes I should allow myself to be more selfish.
Okay.
Like even at work when I'm thinking of others
Yeah,
and I'm speaking for others, that'll get me in trouble.
Yes.
Whereas really I should just be like more, let's just stay in your own lane, Carl, water your own garden type of thing.
Yeah, good.
These guys have got a voice, but my issue is when people complaining out loud,
Yes.
I'll take it on board and go like, this isn't right actually, you know, there's a point here.
Yeah.
But I'll never think to myself, if I've got a problem, I'm being hard done by it, it's hurting me. I'm always thinking of, right, if I'm feeling this, somebody else and others are going to think this is unfair. Or this is, so I'll go and speak to...
Energy, you know, energy is everything.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll speak to the boss privately.
Yeah.
One of the bosses and try to bring up the issues. Sometimes you get told, good idea, or you know what, that's already been implemented, or I disagree because...
Yeah, I agree.
You know, you've got to... And again, you've got to converse and never confront. So I always think sometimes you've got to be selfish, and if you do need to speak up, you can't go in because of ego. You've got to go in with, does this make, in wrestling, does this make the company grow?
Okay.
Does this make the staff feel better?
Yeah.
Does this make the wrestlers feel happier, or the work colleagues? Or, you know, that's what I always go in with. So in terms of ego, I don't think I've got one. Like I said, I've got a lot of pride in my work, and I've got a lot of...
You take it professionally, don't you?
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Okay, good, all right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't answer the physically and mentally one, did I? Prepare it.
Yeah.
So you said physically and mentally, and then the worst spots in the match, didn't you? Something like that.
Yes.
The pain. So there's two answers to that. The worst type, I can't put my finger on worst match I've been in.
Okay.
I've had concussions and stuff like that, but I wouldn't even say they're the worst matches because that's just part and parcel. But what tends to be the worst matches is when the boss goes, or the promoter goes, you're wrestling 30 minutes today, Carl. Because then you know you're going to be absolutely gassed. I mean, I get gassed at the 10-minute mark of a wrestling match anyway. Cause it's fast, it's slow, your body's taking bumps all the time, you know, and then you've got you know, the energy to get the crowd going, you've got everything, and all of a sudden your body just depletes, and then it's like, ref, how long? You've got another 12 minutes, like, fuck's sake. So they're the worst ones.
Yeah.
What's hurt me most, I don't know, I've been in a bunch of matches with nails and Legos and tables and chairs and...
Have you?
Yeah, I love it.
Give me like a best move, because obviously like from a world of like people who don't know wrestling too well, like an amateur level, like what is your favourite move? Like what's the best move? Like sometimes they dive in, and I just want to know like the move. Like,
do you know what?
Name, surely.
The one that I do off the top rope, you mean?
Your favourite move, just in general.
Oh gosh, Jesus.
Something technical as well.
Yeah, see, the wrestling side I love, but English crowds have changed over the year because they've been accustomed to American wrestling.
Yeah.
Traditional English wrestling is all about the holds, catch as catch wrestling. So I trained at the Snake Pit for a while in Wigan. That's catch as catch wrestling, or Greco-Roman or Olympic style wrestling type of thing. And that's like, it's like almost like jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. For example, Tom Aspinall also trained at the Snake Pit in Wigan to refine his wrestling skills.
Really?
He's from Wigan as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
But the English crowd no longer warm to it. They want to see more slams and hits and dives and everything else because they're watching it all on American TV. There's no English wrestling anymore, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wish it was a bit more technical than it is, because I do enjoy that style. But I do love jumping off stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine you do.
I do, yeah. And you know what's scary about it is when you're up there, you're thinking, shit, this is high, but you know you can't just get back down.
No.
You have to commit.
It's not like was it like a 3 metre pillar, but the ring already 3 metres, is it? I don't know.
It's probably in the ring, when you're up there, it probably feels like, you know, your head's touching this roof maybe a lot of the time.
So it is coming down from a height? Yeah.
But you have to jump, you can't just jump down, you have to jump up to come down, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So you walk
Otherwise it looks a bit shit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do the coup de grace, which is very safe for me, because basically I'm jumping up to double stomp someone whilst they're prone, while they're lying down, they just have to take it full on the torso.
Wow.
I love doing the splash, you know, it doesn't hurt me at all. I love submissions and stuff like that. That's my thing. When you watch UFC, people say they love knockouts, but no, I love submissions, because I feel like when you're physically making someone quit, it's different. To anyone can knock someone out, but when you're physically grappling someone and choking them out, or making them quit, or you know, snapping their arm and stuff, I love that style of it.
I know it's a completely different sport. We have got someone from MMA coming in a few days, and someone I used to train a little bit with. You know, I should have really continued it. I moved out the area.
Yeah.
And you know, the submissions is a big part in MMA. So I mean, It'd be interesting to see, 'cause obviously the different forms of sport.
Well, the thing is, in wrestling,
Yeah.
we have to learn how to put these holds on legitimately and reverse these holds. So we're not being coached by people who pretend to know how to put an armbar in.
Okay.
We're being coached by people who've done wrestling.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I couldn't become a professional wrestling coach unless I did, like, say, 3 or 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
of doing some sort of other art, be it like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, wrestling, just these types of things. Because if you're going to the world of professional wrestling, how are you supposed to teach someone if you don't actually know any wrestling?
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So
True.
we're learning how to choke someone out for real, or we're learning how to snap someone's elbow or ankle or knee ligaments. You have to learn that
Yeah,
way.
you do, yeah.
But all we're doing is obviously making it look like we're doing it, but holding it a bit lighter. Do you know what I mean? So,
okay, so that's where it's coming from. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
good. Yeah, okay. What's the process of developing like a character or like a gimmick that resonates with fans? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, so when I came through, I was given this shit soldier gimmick. I had like a tight fade at the time, if you remember.
Okay.
Maybe it's just before your time, actually, when you
Might
started
be.
working with me. I had this tight fade, and I was quite straight back and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
serious, because, like, again, pretty much the same going into wrestling. I was quiet, listened. With authority, it's like I always like, listen, I don't fucking talk too much, just 2 ears, 1 mouth type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, right, you don't speak too much, but you've got like, I remember my coach saying, you've got like a silent charisma, so when you're in the ring, people don't know what you're going to do, and I think that's a good thing, type of thing to have.
You are good at that.
So it's like, the promoter goes, we're going to give you a soldier gimmick. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, so I had to get all the soldier gear and stuff.
Did you?
It just did not feel natural at all. Like, I had to stop it like after about a year or 2.
Did you?
And then after that, I was just floating about with no character or no gimmick, I
Okay.
and I was putting so much pressure on to get about the country, wrestle for all these different promotions and stuff, and it's just mentally, it kills you, because
Is it?
it kills you, because like no one
it?
talks about that side of wrestling, where it's
No.
like you're trying to put yourself out there and you're not getting bookings and stuff like that, and then somebody else is getting ahead, and I realised like afterwards I was putting so much pressure on myself without any gimmick.
Yeah.
So what I did was, the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
After the pandemic, 18 months later, when we did the first show back, I had a show in Burnley, I think it was.
Okay.
But this company in North Wales said, we've got a show on, do you want to do this next on Saturday? I was like, yeah, I could do with a warm-up for next week, actually, because this one in Wales was like a carnival type thing where, passers come and go and stuff like that. You usually
Okay.
get big crowds,
Right.
but they don't stay for the full show. They watch one match and drift off.
Yeah, it's like in and out jobs.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought, I'll go to that because it's a nice tune-up and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was driving down to Wales, sun was beaming, I had jean shorts on,
Yeah.
Doc Martens,
Yeah.
and I was listening to Pearl Jam, who I absolutely adored growing up.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you know what? Like, still have no gimmick. I was like, I'm going to wrestle like this today.
Yeah.
I had my Cannon Monster there, and I thought, if this gets over, I'm just going to stick to this because it's who I am.
Yeah.
Doc Martens and black clothing
went
and
for yourself,
grunge
right?
music.
Okay.
So that's what I mean, be yourself times it by 100.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I started tweaking the character every so often, and that's still what I've got today. It's like a almost kind of grungy character, like a misunderstood character type of thing.
Right.
And
like a punk, well, not like a punk. I
not
don't
like
know.
a punk, like
No.
do you know, like a Kurt Cobain style, or
Yeah, I do.
an Eddie Vedder and all them types
Okay.
of, like back in the 90s, and people are singing about how depressed they are, how
Yeah,
they want to kill themselves, and it's pretty much that type of character. Or some people would say, like, there's a character in the 90s called Raven.
Raven.
And it's pretty much the same, but obviously with my personality. So it's like, I remember doing a promo once after about 6 months, and it was the feedback I got from it, people were saying, oh, that's the best promo I've ever seen live, blah, blah, blah. And I just spoke from the heart. Again, it's like when you're authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was basically saying, listen, you've all come in here today, and because I had a group of guys that I got together,
Yeah.
and they're all like freaky looking. It's like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
They had a guy with a mask on, loads of tattoos all over his body.
They were like Kane.
Yeah,
Kane.
yeah. you had a guy who wears makeup, and he's a she, them, or whatever, they, them, or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Then I had a girl who dresses alternative rock as well. So I did this promo about how if you've seen us all on the street, you'd kind of avoid us or not even talk to us because you think
Yeah.
we're different and stuff like that. I said, I've lived with this my whole life and stuff like that. And then I finished it with, because I'll use the moniker Black Sheep, because
Right.
the Black Sheep came, again, from my sister growing up, being one of 5. My sister used to always say, you're the black sheep of the family, because I was so much different to them as well.
I get that as well.
Do you know what I mean? I was so
Yeah.
much different. So I thought, you know what, black sheep's cool. No one wrestling is doing black sheep. And it's easy to understand, like, the black sheep. So I was like, I'm the black sheep of professional wrestling. We're the black sheep. Like, we're different from everyone and stuff like that. So when I found that gimmick, it was almost like, bam.
Yeah,
And
nice.
I got more reactions, I got more work.
Yeah, good, yeah.
You know, I got more opportunities with better talent. Everything just fit into place, and it's
Yeah.
like a brilliant thing. Yeah.
And they exploded from there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what's like the wildest thing you've seen backstage or on the road? Now that's not an easy question, is it? You've got to really
I'm just trying to think what wouldn't get someone cancelled.
Or maybe just like not make it like drug related or whatever, you know. I don't know.
No, it's just
Something funny.
you know what? It's professional wrestling for a reason.
Okay.
It's such a respectful thing. You know,
Is it?
when you meet people for the first time, you shake the hand.
Yeah.
You know, when you finish your match, you thank them, and you thank the ref and stuff like that. It's so professional. There's been arguments and stuff like that, disagreements. Or I think the worst thing personally I've done is if someone's come backstage and said, "Oh, that match was shit" or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
I might have gone, "Man, you missed your spot. Like, it's your fault that match was
really?
shit." Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I've never, or like, yeah, sorry, man, it was my fault that I missed the timing of the jump or whatever it was or something.
Okay.
But yeah, there's not too much drama
There's not that
backstage.
much. Okay.
And anything that I would say would get me cancelled or someone
Yeah,
else
fair
cancelled.
enough. Yeah, I could have said you're gonna have to hold back on that one a bit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And how do you think wrestling's like changed you as a person, like mentally and emotionally? And that's an important one to understand.
You know, mentally it's something like, I remember when I started, I seen an advert on Facebook, I was like, I can't be 65 years old and not done wrestling.
Okay, yeah, good, yeah.
Do you know, I had to look back and think, what will I regret not doing?
Yes.
And I've still got a bunch of these things that I need to complete. But wrestling for me is like, I used to call it my sanctuary.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got busy lives and stuff like that, and
Yeah, we do, yeah.
stresses of ex-girlfriends at the time, and then you got people judging you. Why the fuck are you doing it? You know, weirdly, I've seen something.
I've noticed, yeah.
I've seen something on my Facebook memories from this day 2 years ago, and I'll read you some of the questions. And
What, from today?
it's from today 2 years ago, yeah.
Okay, cool, let's hear it.
And
yeah.
these are some of the things, and I posted, because I've probably got some stupid questions on the day, and it kind of, I feel like I shouldn't take it so personally, but because I'm so protective of the business of wrestling, I kind of do, but I don't want to. It's like, I put more questions posed today about wrestling, so here are a few things people say that are best/worst that we all get. And first one, the obvious question, which basically means, is it real? Another one, I've got to come watch it sometime. Does it hurt? How come you do that? Do you get paid? How do you get into it? And I ask people, any more I'm missing? And I literally got 48 responses, people saying like what they get as well. Do you know The Rock?
They are so common questions, actually. Yeah. I think I've asked you a few of them anyway.
Probably, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That is like, right, okay, if I can think of a wrestler, I need to ask these questions right now.
Yeah, but it gave me a directive. Like, well, I don't want to say I was a lost boy, but it gave me like a purpose.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was playing football for a long time. I was okay at that. I was just fast.
Yes.
I broke my back in 2011,
Oh, right, okay.
which is weird because now I'm doing wrestling. But I did trying to do an overhead kick and I missed the ball completely, landed on the concrete floor and on holiday, and then
What was that concrete?
yeah, that took my I smashed my lumbar, which basically took my pace away. And then after that, went crap at football because I only had pace anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, a few years later, I was like, oh, let's start wrestling, and I started it. I loved it, and so it gave me a purpose. Got me out of the house and stuff like that. It got me on the road, gave me new experiences, new friends,
Kept
new
you out
lifestyle.
the bad, keep you out the bad ways. Okay, yeah, this is sort of interesting because I'm touching on purpose at the moment. I think it's hard sometimes, like life can be quite meaningless unless you have an actual purpose, and a lot of people struggle with that. So like, for example, they'll go to work, they'll come home, they'll cook, they might go to the gym, they might watch something, and that might be it. You know, and it comes to the weekend, they go out, and then, you know, they might train or they might go on holidays, but realistically, you just need like to, for me personally, like finding this podcast and like doing my YouTube channel and all that feels a bit like a purpose for me.
Yeah.
And like being around a lot of musicians, we're also in the music studio here, and wrestling is like a form of act in a way, like it's your character.
Yeah.
So being around a lot of musicians, it's interesting to see the creativity in it. So
Yeah.
I see the creativity in what you're doing,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's a good purpose.
Oh, creative.
Yeah.
Anything creative's fucking beautiful, I think, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I've just made this up on my head, like, going through what you said there on musicians. It's like, imagine you've got an old school CD with 20 songs in it.
Okay.
But you only listen to the first 3 songs over and over and over again.
Mm.
So basically that's what life is with no purpose for so many people who are doing the same things every single day, every single weekend.
Conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt. and nothing's changing. They're not doing all that, you know, what's the on trend, which is self-improvement and all that type of stuff, and whatever the goals are and whatever they say on LinkedIn and Instagram and all that type of stuff. It's like they're doing the same three things, and I could name like 90% of the people around me is doing exactly the same things with no purpose, no goals. And it's the main thing is for me, and again I'll go back to John Lennon. He was posed a question when I was a kid, and it's like they went around the classroom. It's like, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? John, what do you want to be when you're older? And he went, happy.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, and the teacher said, John, I don't think you understand the question. And John replied, I don't think you understand life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I never heard that.
And
that's interesting.
I took that, man. I took that and that's why it's so easy for me. And sidebar and the whole wrestling thing, that's why it's so easy for me to go like, right, I'm not dealing with this person anymore. I'm not being around this situation. I'm not going out with this place anymore because we've been told to, or you know, I avoid things that no longer suit my needs. Or
you're in your own lane.
Yeah, exactly.
And you jump in lanes a bit. You say hi. You know, you can chameleon a bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. And just like sort of last point really, like what advice would you give to someone who wants to break into the wrestling world then?
Ooh. You will get hurt. There are politics.
Okay.
And there are egos.
Mm-hmm.
But if you love it enough and dedicate yourself enough to it, then it's going to be the best thing you ever do.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I think
I like that. Simply as that. Yeah.
Really, that's very good. That's what we wanted. That a simple. Okay, brilliant. Well, thanks for coming on today.
No worries.
Yeah,
pleasure to be here.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. You know, and hopefully, so obviously this is the podcast, but we will come to one of your events and film it at some point.
Well, I've got a show, like I said, next Sunday, the 3rd of August. If you've got
I'm too free short. Then.
Yeah, bring your crew.
I think so. Yeah, I think we're free. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be good. That. We'll come down to that.
Yeah, good.
Where is it?
That's in Ormskirk.
In Ormskirk.
Yeah, it's
what
like
postcode?
50-minute drive away. That is L37, I think.
Oh, because we're Liverpool way, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just past Scam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll come that. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, cool.
All right, thanks very much.
No worries.
All right, nice one, Carl. All right,
cheers,
cool.
man.
All right, cool. Nice one.